I'm going to share with you a Fred Craddock story. Fred Craddock was one of the greatest preachers in America, and every preacher like myself would scramble to read some of his stories, and we use them also. So I'm going to tell you a Fred Craddock story verbatim in his own language. An old high school chum of mine, I called him Buck, had a restaurant in town. And every year, it was the same. I would go in there and I'd say, "Hi there, Buck, and good to see you." And he'd give me a cup of coffee and a piece of pie. And then we'd sit and talk. Every year it was the same. I went into, around Christmas time, "Merry Christmas, Buck." But this year he said, "Let's go somewhere for coffee." I said, "Well, what's the matter? Isn't this a restaurant?" He said, "Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I wonder. Now let's go." So we went for coffee at another place. We sat there, and pretty soon he said, "Did you see the curtain?" I said, "Buck, I saw the curtain. I always see the curtain every time I come to your restaurant." Now, what he meant by curtain was this. They have a number of buildings in that little town that are called shotgun buildings. New Orleans has some of them. They're long buildings with two entrances, front and back. The one is off the street, that one, and then there's another one from the alley. In Buck's restaurant and other restaurants in town, the entrances were separated by a curtain with a kitchen in the middle. If you were white, you came in off the street. If you were black, you came in off the alley. He said it again. "Did you see the curtain?" He says, "The curtain has to come down." And I said, "Fred, good, then bring it down." He said, "That's easy for you to say. Come into town once a year and tell me how to run my business?" Fred said, I said, okay, then just leave it up. He said, "I can't leave it up." "Well, then take it down," said Fred. "I can't take it down." After a while he said, "If I take that curtain down, I lose a lot of my customers. If I leave the curtain up, I lose my soul." Many curtains are coming down in America right now. Far more curtains remain in place than we can even realize. Most of them unseen, but nonetheless, a good division, a big division. America is wrestling with a desire for profit versus the words of the prophet Jesus, who said, "What does it profit anyone if they gain the whole world and lose their soul?" May all of us be wide awake at this unique time in the history of our country as we are making friends with looking at things that are very difficult and yet must be looked at for us to move forward as a country. But most of all, let us remember the words of Jesus. What does it profit anyone to gain the world and lose their soul? May God bless us in our soul search and of living and loving from the heart and the soul of Jesus Christ. Amen.